All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday, January 27th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. I should be good to go as always across the cyber group room and across social media, Facebook Live and YouTube. Great to see all of us live inside our trading room, though. Jerry, that was Debbie, Bonnie, Mario, William, Stefan, all of our students joining us live here. Great to see you all. All right, so let's hop into it. I mean, I don't really know where to begin. We always tend to start with the stock that's on the screen, but we do have class finishing up later on today at 3 p.m. So I got to be quick. I mean, as you could see, the Dow at least to start pulling back down towards the low of the day heading into the afternoon. So, you might happen to see a down market. A few stocks like the airlines, the cruise lines could move with it. But as you've seen, our focus hasn't really been on the market as much. It's been on just some of these crazy runners, stocks that are very high short interest or stocks that are of high short interest, like this SR&E trade, one of many that we've been trading just from yesterday, from Friday last week, and now today. I mean, this thing took off shortly after the market opened up. Once it rebroke above resistance, the whole number price that you could see on the chart off 11, that's really what led to this run up afterwards. But man, you don't really know where this stock is going to top off at. So, it's hard to try and pick the perfect top, get in at the bottom, sell at the tippy top. We do not look to achieve that here at Cyber Trading University. If that were to happen, God bless. That's incredible. But, great traders don't look to, always sell at the bottom or buy at the bottom, sell at the very tippy top. We look to try and follow the smart money, follow the big volume support resistance levels. So on a trade like this, I mean, more so heading into the afternoon, you could see this big spike of volume when it popped up and tested resistance, the top at the time at 15. So that's a hint. That's a sign to say, well, there's a lot of buying coming in off that level. If it can re-break through that price later on, you'd hope to see a continuation. So it ended up making that continued move, broke above 15 here, and took off nicely. Now, as of now, the stock is shaking back down quite a bit. Actually, most recently crashed right under and now back over 15. So long as this could actually hold over 15, I'm still bullish. If it could hold over 15, that is. If it comes crashing back down below 15, it holds under 15, then the long is done for the day, at least on this trade. But for the meantime, of course, I'll put the Sorrento on our main list. It's not just like one of these crazy runners from the last day or two. We've been following this stock really across most of 2020. More so back from, I think it was beginning in April, maybe May time here, popped up. And that's when we really first started following this trade, one of many different vaccine companies. So another one, Inovio INO, is one that we're all really familiar with. Pretty much, around the same time the Sorrento popped, we saw INO pop going back into April and May and so forth. But of course, today, this a very similar move up at the highs right now. This one hasn't completely, tanked yet, like Sorrento. So maybe be careful in that regard. Look to see if this does make a big shake coming up in the next few minutes. But easy enough for us to just put on our main list to begin the INO trade, just given the way, given where it's traded right now, heading into the afternoon. All right. So, of course, we have plenty of others to talk about. It'd be remiss to not mention GameStop. But I do want to scan across the market, folks. We have our class, our Phase 2 stock course finishing up today, right at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So let me just actually pull the scanners up here, and we'll do a full brush through. So from top to bottom we go, and let's hopefully, my goal for this meeting is to make sure my platform doesn't, freeze up on me or crash. So with the amount of volume that AMC has traded today, over 1 billion shares. Yes, you heard that right. That's a B as in billion. So AMC cracking over 1 billion shares total traded across the day. So you would look at this right now and say with a billion shares traded, it's probably not going to move at all. Well, in relation to its trend or in relation to the move in which the stock made today, I would say, yeah, it's not going to trade nearly as well. But actually heading into the afternoon, we called out the breakout, the resistance off of 17. That was the setup at the time. So for what it's worth, it ended up making a very nice move from that 17, ended up actually just crashing under and over 17 right before we started, and pushing back up for right now. I mean, listen, it's traded so much volume that, I'm sure with the range in which the stock is made today, to go from like $9 or $10 to 26, then from 26 bucks down to like 11, that's incredible range up and down across the day. So it's for that reason that would lead me to think that there's still maybe a chance in which we could see this go, but I'd rather follow others. There's one that we'll jump to in a moment here. It's still up 30+%. Genius, GNUS. So we'll talk about that one, a couple of others here in a moment. Man, this KOSS trade too at the same time. I don't know what the deal was with this. I would assume it's just one of those high short interest, potentially low float stocks. One of our students, Jerry, was asking before, how on earth is this stock going from $3 to like $43 within like 2 days' time? I don't have the answer for that aside from saying it's probably for the same reason as GameStop, AMC, and it's to what I just said before. I don't know that for fact, but just to see this company move up today the way it did from even yesterday's high from like 12.50, $13 all the way up towards where it moved up to today. You don't want to get caught up at the tops, folks. That's all I'll say there. So, I saw this breakout earlier. I took a look at it. I looked away from it, and now I'm looking back at it again here. So crazy run, but you don't want to get caught up in this crap. So, for anyone that jumped in and out on this trade that made money, congratulations. For the afternoon, there's definitely better stocks to follow. I was trying to scroll up on the chat board to see exactly Jerry's post regarding that KOSS trade. I thought it was a funny comment. All right, though. So we'll keep it going. Express right now is not the type of stock that will trade heading into the afternoon. Although I will say, for the same reason as like AMC, maybe we can see this make a small move up or down, but just it seems very flat in relation to its range. Made a big move up, pulled back, big move up higher, pulled back. So I just don't expect it to maintain the same type of velocity, the range and everything else heading into the afternoon. So, another one that's very heavily traded today, 250 million shares. That's with an M this time. But yeah, I think for right now, we'll pass on this. Probably tomorrow morning, I'll look at it again. Look at this. NAKD Naked Brands, nice pop earlier to go from like 38 to 95 and then pulled back. And the same thing now. This thing's moving right back up to the highs of the day. So to see it pump up, dump back down, move back up, it's just tough to expect a second clean breakout higher into the afternoon. I actually will put this on our main list, though. And the reason will go as follows. A, this is actually really strong towards its high of the day right now. Whereas with some of the others that we were just going over, like Express, AMC, they're not nearly as strong to its highs, right? And then secondly, with Naked, it's also looking at the daily chart. This thing's been split more times than not. It's to say that for as much as this stock has dropped over the years, they've done reverse stock splits to try and, I guess, get it above NASDAQ compliance. So for right now, it's at the highs of the day today. And given the drop off here, the range in which this stock has on the daily chart, there could be, good room for recovery on this. So I don't mind adding this one on our list. Okay, crazy GameStop here just for fun. We'll look at it. It's making like the same kind of drop off as like Express is right now. Probably the same as BlackBerry and Bed Bath Beyond, all of those. Fossil too. Man, this thing flew under the radar today. I mean, it broke out as soon as the market opened. So it wasn't as if this had a lot of pre-market activity for us to be interested in. But nonetheless, it ended up lifting off pretty nicely. And at least for right now, it's just super flat. So I feel like a lot of these we're just going to skip over in that regard. Just say, listen, it's pretty flat right now, very heavily traded across the day. Yeesh, geez, look at this TRVG pump and dump. My goodness. I haven't looked at this until since the run up. So I was going to look into this going into the meeting. I said, all right, we'll check it out then. But damn, man, this thing ended up complete pump and dump, 250 to like 588, then all the way back down. Believe it or not, though, folks, this stock actually is shortable. So, I always say at every meeting here, if it craps out the other way, it could be an opportunity to short. I wish I could say I shorted this, but it would have made for a great opportunity either way. So at least for right now, we're not going to watch this. We're not going to trade this for the afternoon session. Whoa, NOK2. Man, I saw one of our students, Monica. I want to give her a big shout out. Monica was in this trade from 6, got in probably off the breakout here. And as it got halted on the way up, she was extremely nervous, rightfully so. When you get stuck in a halt, you don't know exactly where it's going to open up. To what degree is it going to move, after it opens? So, when it ended up getting halted, we thought it would potentially gap up, but not to the extent in which it did. It ended up gapping up all the way up towards just about 10. I think Monica sold it like 920 or like 925. Phenomenal exit. And I say that looking in hindsight, since this drop off here, look what happened. Monica got out at Was it 979, Monica? Was that Monica? You got out at the very high of the day here too? Oh my goodness, that's even better. Jeez. All right, congratulations, Monica. And yeah, I mean, since look what happened. This stock just totally dived off, got halted like 2 or 3 times on the way down. Very wise decision to get out. And, listen, if it wasn't at the high of the day, like Monica did get out at, that's still a hell of an exit, right? Whether it's 925 or 979, like Monica did here, fantastic trade. But yeah, I mean, for the meantime, just very heavily traded across the day. It's been through like the spin cycle, I like to say. It's been through like the washer, the dryer. This thing's been, through the whole thing. So yeah, for right now, for this afternoon, I'm not as keen to watch this just yet. Build-A-Bear, BBW, ended up making a big pop, and well, I guess since dropped off and popped back up from 6 recently here. Just a little chaotic. All right, that leads us to Genius Brands. GNUS ended up making a big move up today. This stock, I believe, has higher short interest, at least from the website I was looking at. It said that. Nonetheless, though, Genius ended up coming out with some sort of news today. I know that they're like, is it the Cartoon Channel, or there's some Cartoon Kids network that they launched recently within the last year. They have Arnold Schwarzenegger as like an ambassador. It's kind of a weird sentence to say at the same time. They have a kids cartoon network and Arnold Schwarzenegger as the ambassador. That's true though, folks. So nonetheless, though, we followed this stock back from May, June time here. Took a huge squeeze up from $1 all the way to 12. So we're familiar with it. Well, once it started to make a high of the day here, I called it out, and I kind of just did simple math, right? Like, hey, AMC moved up, GameStop, Bed Bath Beyond, Palantir, BlackBerry, like all of those stocks were getting pumped up by that Wall Street bets crowd, and we'll just say now retail traders. Even if you're not looking at that Reddit channel, I'm sure you're looking at the same stock that they are. So when this started to push up, I jumped in at 188, 189. I held on all the way through. Actually, I'm still in on part of my original position on this trade currently. Although it dived off quite a bit, I'm hopeful to see support build around 230. That was a major level we were watching from the early afternoon here. So hopefully for right now, this will begin to move back up for myself and for any of us that are in this trade. So yeah, Genius, I'll add to our main list. Beautiful run up from earlier today. I thought there was a real chance for this to make a move up towards 3. If it's not today, maybe we'll see it by this week. Holy smokes. Look at the daily chart already just on GSX. The 1-minute chart just loaded a little bit after, but you could just see on the daily chart for this GSX. We traded the stock going back into last year, not every day, more off than on, really, but we saw the stock essentially go from like 60 when we first called it out, all the way up towards 100 and above, and then it took a huge dive, a big gap down here and tailed off, and I mean, just the last few days, much like, all these other stocks getting squeezed up, GSX is no exception. So ended up making a huge move back up to, I think, break all-time highs. Yeah, I think that's an all-time high. Right off 150 today. So, listen, it's pretty expensive. I'm not going to, put this on our main watch list, but just wanted to go over the move here, at least between the daily chart, the 1 minute. It's at all-time highs right now off 150. We had PBI yesterday. This is PBF making a nice pop right now from 1050 up to 1150. Things got a tight spread. I like to see that, and decent volume on the order book. So I don't know if it's a high short interest float or high short interest stock or not, but either way, we'll put this on our main list, the PBF. I like this for right now. Fausto was calling out RIG earlier today, RIG. It's like a nice oil stock, if I'm not mistaken. Ended up making a nice push from 280-ish all the way up towards high of the day off 420, 419. Bed Bath Beyond. Things been all over the place today. Just look at the daily chart. You'll see the run up there. Blue Apron, I'll tell you, we saw the stock make a huge short squeeze going back into April of last year, maybe March or April of last year. And with that, I thought there was great chance to see this make a much sharper move than it made today. And, that doesn't mean that it won't. But, yeah, for right now, just big spread, very, thin tier sizes, small orders on level 3. So I'm not as keen to watch this just yet. One of our students, James, just commenting now regarding the RIG stock. I just went over saying it's a drilling company, to be exact. There we go. I knew that they were affiliated with oil to a degree. I just didn't know specifics. So they are specifically a drilling company, RIG, that is. Inovio, we covered already. UONE ended up making a nice pop going into the market open. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a bust. Dived off shortly afterwards, and that was that. So, yeah, for right now, I'm not as keen to watch this one. Probably the same with Kodak. I got a chat from one of our trial members here joining us for the week, Robert, saying, hey, check out the PLTR, Palantir. It's at the higher. It's like near the highs, right? Much closer to its highs of the day than its lows of the day. This is certainly a level 4 to 5 stock, folks. Just even with a tighter spread here, it could open up. Just looking at how fast the stock moves per minute, you're looking at like on a smaller bar here. This is like $1.30. That's crazy. So yeah, this is definitely a level 5 stock through and through. It's like trying to make a higher low, although it topped off the highs at 45 beautifully. Yeah, I'll add this to our list. It's hard for me not to, but as a new student, as a trial member, you shouldn't even be touching the stock. But that's where I say, as a student, I would rather you follow a trade, let's say like Genius. I'd rather you follow a stock like PBF even, or Naked, or even the Sorrento stock, should that make a higher low and move back up. So, we'll go back to those by the end of it all. If you're a level 4 or 5 trader, you know who you are. I'd say the same with the space stock, although we're not as keen to watch this for the afternoon given lack of trend here. But just given the lack of tier size, the big spread, I'd say the same with space, as I said with Palantir there. I had this off of 48 once we finished up class. I left a lot of money on the table on this. And again, myself, when I trade this, I'm not doing this on 1,000 shares, folks. But trust me when I say that. I'm doing this on 200 share positions. Ooh, look at this. EXPR made a nice little pop and run, snuck past us there, ended up making a nice push heading into the afternoon. And for what it's worth, it seems kind of strong right now. Although it dived off here, made a nice recovery, pushing back up for right now. You know what? I'll kind of put this on the side. I'll check back in with this one definitely by the end of it all. All right, so let's hop over to the losers list here. We have one of our members on YouTube, Ian, saying, you got to stick the landing. Nice. Yeah, listen, we're not going to try and be perfect, or we can't be perfect on our trades. So if we leave money on the table for a trade, I always say this for all of us inside the live trading room. If you leave money on the table, it goes to show that you're at least taking some money off the table to begin with, right? If you're not entering a trade, you have no ability to take any money off any table, right? So that's where I say, if you're in a trade, if you're up, you close out that trade, you finally realize the profit, hey, it's yours now. If the stock keeps going up, you learn from that, and potentially you get back in the trade if there's another opportunity. PBI, man, we were talking about PBF just before. We were saying PBI we traded yesterday, but damn, what makes the top percent gainers list one day certainly will make the percent losers list the next. And right now, this is like right at a major support at $10. So, it kind of looks tradable given the fact it's at the lows of the day. It's shortable. It's at a support of 10. I like what we have so far. If there's anything making a sharper drop off within this time frame here, I'll be more interested in it. This book map for PBI looked all sorts of funky yesterday. So that on top, I'm not as keen to watch this just yet. T2, Tattoo, as we kind of nickname it. Yeah, popped up shortly after the market opened up. Seems pretty flat for the meantime here. All right, folks. I think that just about does it. Not much else that I see that looks like incredible. HTBX. It's like kind of there at 750. This LB trade is getting crushed. Wow. Back from Monday of this past week, or of this week rather, ended up diving off from like 44.50 all the way down to 40, pushed all the way back up. Well, same thing happened yesterday. Dived off from 44.50 all the way down to 43. And then it gapped down that much more in pre-market this morning. Oof. So this is making a much sharper move given this afternoon time frame here. I'll put this on our watch list. This is more of like a level 3 to level 4 stock, I'd say, in terms of volatility. So still as a new student, I'd rather you follow others. But yeah, this one could be a good day trade for more of a level 3, 4, 5 trader here in our room. I'd assume major support would be off of 36 next, major resistance off of 37 since it's holding well underneath it here. Alrighty, folks. So what else you got for me here? If there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 10%, type it here in the chat board. I say 10% because we got a lot of stocks up and down big today. Number 49 is up 18%. Norman says GCI for a level 1 stock. Yeah, I'd say so. Now, the thing is, like, I'm definitely going to put this on our list. If there is another 7 or 8 stocks, Norman, that look just like this, it's going to be hard to try and follow all of them. So this one, I like. This one will make the list so far. Just like you said, it's a nice level 1 stock, strong in its trend on the way up. John saying VXX, but it's an ETF. Yeah, with the markets dropping off, the VIX entirely moving up. VXX is an ETF that follows the VIX. So that's getting a bit of a push. I'm not going to put it on the main list or whatever. But, John, listen, I know that you trade VXX. For anyone that trades the VIX with success, with consistent success, you know who you are, right? So right away, then you'd probably follow that heading into the afternoon. Not a bad idea if you know how to trade it. CCL diving off right now. We're going to look at some of the side list stocks, airlines, cruise lines, etc. NCLH diving off here. American Airlines after a pop up. Oh, that's right. Oh, actually, I don't think it was today. I have my earnings calendar here in front of me. I have AAL, JetBlue, LUV, all airlines earnings set for tomorrow morning. I know that Boeing reported this morning. Unless if anything was leaked. I don't know about that. But nonetheless, man, AAL, I didn't look at this until right now. Big pop after the open. It is pulling back down with the market pretty nicely. If I am correct with that, AAL earnings tomorrow morning alongside JetBlue, and I think it's Southwest Airlines. Alrighty. Folks, I think that just about does it. I'll check out EXPR one more time here, but I don't see much else from the trading room at least. I'll check out social media, Facebook Live, YouTube. Got nothing. That's fine by me. I will say the EXPR is probably the only one I'd be interested in putting on the main list. I think for right now, though, I like what we have. The Sorrento, the INO, the Genius stock still moving pretty nicely. NAKD just popped over $1. I'll leave this up on the screen as we finish up here, folks. All right, so for all of us live inside the trading room, I'm going to post the link for class pretty shortly. Actually, Rich will. But otherwise, for all of us on social media, make sure that you like, subscribe, notify right on our YouTube channel, that being youtube.com/cybertradingu. And then aside from that, as always, feel free to join us right here Monday to Friday, right here in the Cyber Group Trading Room. All right, folks, I'll talk to you all in class soon. I look forward to it. Take care.